Wiggle, wiggle.
Like.
Hey, good old classic intro. Don't know if any of you guys remember that. That was actually an intro that I had way back in the day when channel was much smaller. Thought it'd be funny, do a little throwback Thursday. Well, I'm actually doing this Thursday, but by the time you guys watch it, it'll be a little bit later on. So today, we decided to do subscriber request for double shot versus triple shot. Double shot, the Helsing versus the triple shot, as we all know as the Annihilator. We're going to just see how these two tanks stand off against each other. Now, I typically don't like to do 7 of one type of tank versus 7 of a different type of tank, and what I mean by that is like 7 destroyers versus 7 light tanks, or 7 heavy tanks versus 7 medium tanks. And the reason behind that is because when you do that, different types of tanks play different roles. And so when you play like a heavy tank or a medium tank, well, let's just go off medium or light tank, you've got a way better view range and you've got way better maneuverability if you're fighting against 7 other destroyers who typically rely on teammates to do spotting, to get eyes for them, to be able to get those shots, fulfill that supportive role. But anytime you do 7 destroyers versus like 7 light or medium tanks, it just is a complete it's not a very fair setup. And so, whereas if you do like 7 heavy tanks versus 7 heavy tanks, or 7, destroyers or 7 destroyers, it's way more fair because they're both meant to fulfill the same role and they have kind of the same capability, somewhat of the same abilities when fighting and comparing apples to apples. So that's kind of my take. I know I get some of these subscriber requests that request some stuff like that, so that's kind of my take on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Love doing these subscriber requests, and also want to thank my subscribers for helping me with these videos. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. If you want to help, join my Discord and make sure you get the movie crew role. That way you get the notifications, right when I'm actually doing the videos, and you guys can jump in on the training room, join. I have a lot of people in, so I do try and swap players out. We all take turns, and honestly, it was really good. So this first match, I decided to be the Helsing just when doing this because I figured the Annihilator was gonna win. There's a lot of advantages it has. I wanted to do this just because, how could you not, first of all, do a battle of the double shot versus the triple shot? It was more so of that factor rather than doing like a heavy versus tank destroyer, but also emphasize what I was referring to earlier as this is kind of why you don't put one type of tank versus another type of tank. So the disadvantage here is the heavy tanks have way more hit points than the Helsing tanks. So it made it a bit more of a challenging experience for us, and we do actually change it up a little bit to make it a little bit more even on the hit points, removing 1 Annihilator in our last game. So that one clearly did not work out the way that we wanted to. We're going to go into another one, this time just a 6v6, just to see how it would turn out, and then we're going to remove 1 Annihilator. So the Helsings actually have 1 more than the other. So the Helsing, great tank, really do like it, very capable tank destroyer. That double shot can be quite effective. But as you can see, the tank, very maneuverable. It has that rotating turret, which gives it the advantage. So it really is a unique destroyer for multiple reasons, and you can really play it well. However, one thing that you do notice in some points is the, the gun depression can really struggle at times. It doesn't have a lot of it, so you do have to utilize those hills a little bit to get that cannon down. The Annihilators here, they have an excellent turret traverse. That tri-shot cannon, extremely lethal, especially if you're able to get all those 3 penetrating shots. You've got a larger hit point pool. The Helsing on average has only about 1,000 hit points, as you can see, whereas the Annihilator has 1,500. And with the double shot, the Helsings, in order to really win a setup like this, have to really do a lot more. And especially with that tri-shot, it can make it actually a bit more difficult. So the thing with the Helsing too that I like is how sloped its armor can be, because for a tank like the Helsing, you can actually get a decent amount of bounces off this tank, which really can make it a bit of a challenge to come across, and can make it quite flexible and fluid and fulfilling some different roles when you have that fully rotating turret, that mobility. So honestly, maybe this battle for that first battle wasn't as fun for the Helsing players. Trying to definitely put up a fight here. I'm kind of in a pinch. This is exactly what I did not want to have happen. I'm trying to get out as soon as possible, just as I thought I was able to make it. I unfortunately didn't. So that did not work out too well. Helsings are down 2, Annihilators are down 1. And we did get 2 killing each other at the same exact time. That tri-shot versus double shot. So that was actually quite a funny view to see. And we really tried swapping out players, making it fair, really trying to give everyone a turn. I try to be really conscientious of that. So this last Helsing, he's kind of running for his life. And in both matches, the Helsings just got annihilated, no pun intended. But this is where we were thinking, okay, the Annihilators clearly have a lot more hit points. Let's just try to see if the Helsings can do it in the next round with 1 less Annihilator, and the Helsings having 1 more than the Annihilator team. So this last guy trying to run for his life, but honestly, excellent maneuverability for a tank destroyer. You don't see this type of maneuverability very often in tank destroyers, because they typically are more so in a position to play a very supportive role. And it's great because you can fulfill that supportive role much faster. So here we decided to do 1 less Annihilator to see if the Helsings could win now that the hit points are a little bit more even. So it's kind of funny too, because when playing this, for some reason it seemed like the Helsing tanks were detecting the Annihilators more. But the funny thing is that the Annihilator has a better view range than the Helsing. So I thought that was actually quite interesting. And being that we had absolutely gotten wasted the last couple 2 rounds, I'm playing a little bit more cautiously here, trying to get any shots I can. A little dangerous peeking out along with this teammate, because as one takes a shot, if my teammate moves forward, I can end up getting hit. So I'm kind of in a dangerous position here, but really trying to use that third-person view to kind of see what shots I have on the enemy. And just hoping to see. I always hate that right when you're about to take a shot and they just so happen to get undetected and just disappear. And you're like, did I hit? What happened? Oh man. So Now it looks like one Annihilator is knocked out, leaving it to be, oh, looks like we also lost a Helsing too. So it's now 5v4. And it looks like the Helsings are doing pretty good. Took it some hits there. Now 3 Annihilators left. And still have 5 Helsings. And really, that double and tri-shot cannons are quite fun. Maybe not so fun if you're the one getting shot by them. So this is where you can see I start struggling with my gun depression a little bit, because I back up. I thought maybe I had enough, but I'm a little bit on an incline, and I can't quite get my cannon down. What I needed to do is be a little bit more further moved closer to my right, and then I could have been a little more flatter, and I could have used that hill to help me get my cannon down. So only 2 Annihilators left. Once again, just could not quite get that cannon down. Now we're down to 1 Annihilator left and 4 Helsings. It looks like the Helsings are finally able to pull it through. So now it's just mainly got to rush in. He's losing hit points. Can he still hold out for his team? Definitely missed there. But like I said, I love doing these battles with my subscribers. It's you guys that make this channel. Hopefully this was fun. I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface when it comes to ideas and things you can do with tanks. So this is the Muffin here. You guys stay cool and keep tanking.